Okay, good morning everyone. We are on Samech Aleph Amid Aleph. We're talking about Hagasha, bringing the Korban to the southwest corner of the Mizbeach. V'halo minchas kohanim, the third line. V'halo minchas kohanim and minchas kohen Mashiach bos biglal atzman yachol yehu te'unos Hagasha tamilomar v'higisha. So you said yesterday that if something comes for itself and it doesn't accompany anything else, so then it is chashuv enough to need Hagasha touching to the Mizbeach. So you might think that minchas kohen and minchas kohen Mashiach, which come by themselves, would need Hagasha. Talmud-lomar v'higisha. V'higisha excludes these things. Hamibarle legufa shetun Hagasha. Understand, how can you say that v'higisha excludes these korbanos, the minchas kohen and minchas kohen Mashiach? V'higisha is needed for the pasuk itself to tell you that we're talking about Hagasha. You can't tell me that if I tell you go to the store, that if I'm going to learn something from go, because if I didn't say go, I would have no idea what to the store means. So the fact that it says Hagasha doesn't make any sense. It says min v'higish v'higisha. Could have said v'higish. It says v'higisha. The extra lashon tells me that it excludes minchas kohanim and minchas kohen Mashiach. The obvious question that we've had along the whole time is if you're going to exclude something, you need to give me a svara why. It's very nice to give me a word, but if you can tell me that the word excludes something, that's beautiful. But you have to give me a svara why these specific things. So why should minchas kohanim and minchas kohen Mashiach be excluded from Hagasha? Says Gemara, Mara'isa l'rabo shar menachos l'hotzi minchas kohen minchas kohen Mashiach. Why are you excluding these from Hagasha? Mar b'ani shar menachos sheyesh b'heimen li'ishim. Because there are three criteria of which you must have either all or one in order to require Hagasha. Everybody have the place? We're on Samech Aleph Amid Aleph. You have the spot? Mr. Rosenblum, you have the spot? Samech Aleph Amid Aleph. So Mar b'ani shar menachos sheyesh b'heimen li'ishim. First of all, you have the shar menachos which go and are burnt on the Mizbeach. Ubos biglal atzman, they come for themselves, they're not accompanied by anything. V'yesh men lekohanim, and they go to the kohanim. Umotzi ani, therefore what am I going to exclude? This is the general rule. So what am I therefore going to exclude from Hagasha? Shtei halechem v'lechem apanim she'ein mehen le'ishim. Shtei halechem and the lechem apanim which are not burnt. Uminchas nesachim she'ein haba biglal atzma, and minchas nesachim will be excluded because it doesn't come by itself. It only comes on account of the tmidim. Uminchas kohanim and minchas kohen Mashiach she'ein mehen lekohanim, and the minchas kohanim, the minchas kohen Mashiach, which are totally burnt on the mizbeach, will not have Hagasha. So those are the three klalim. If it has one of those, it doesn't have Hagasha. If it doesn't get burnt, or if it doesn't come on its own accord, or if it doesn't go to the kohanim at all, those three things, that's why these five things specifically are excluded. Vehirim yachol bekli. When it says vehirim mimenu bekumso, you might think, we've been assuming the whole time, when you do the kmitza, you go like this, and you take it up. Maybe you could do it with a kli that's the size of the kmitza. You make a kli that's exactly the same size as your palm, or the same size as your fingers, and you take it out with the kli. Says the Gemara, Tamulomer vehirim mimenu bekumso, maharama amor lahalam bekumso, hafarama amor kan bekumso. No, it needs to be done bekumso. Good? You hear it? Zak the Mishnah. Elu Teunos. He's on his third cycle of DAF YOMI. Ela Teunos Tenufa, ve'ein Teunos Hagasha. The following things. Now we're going to talk about a new thing. Now we were talking about Hagasha. Now we're going to talk about Tenufa. Tenufa is waving. Ah, Baruch Haba. Baruch Mechayim Esim. Welcome back. Okay. Okay. Can I just see what your shirt says to give me a little bit of fun on Rosh Chodesh? Peanut butter and jelly time. Okay. Yosef came for some entertainment today. I told him Alan will be here. Okay. Says the Gemara. You don't even need to listen to anything. Just listen to Alan and you'll be okay. Says the Gemara. Elu Teunos Tenufa. Let's go, Alan. Samach Aleph Amid Aleph. The following things now need this new thing called Tenufa. You missed about Hagasha, but okay, you'll pick up about Hagasha. Now we're back to Tenufa. Tenufa means the waving. So the following korban minchas need the waving. Says the Gemara, ve'ein Teunos Hagasha. What needs the waving? Look shemen shel mitzorah. We said that the shemen of the mitzorah comes with a bottle of shemen, and you have to sprinkle it on his ears, and he has to sprinkle it on his ear, his toe, his fingers, his thumb, and therefore l'maaseh the leftover goes to the kohanim. So that log shel shemen needs to be waved. Says the Gemara, also the ashamo, his korban needs to be waved, and we'll see they're waved together. V'habikurim k'divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, and the bikurim, the first fruits, are also waved according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. What else do you have to wave? Ve'murei shalmei yachid, the sacrificial parts of the personal shlamim. V'chazei v'shok shalhem, and the breast and the thigh of the shalmei yachid. Now, There's a weird statement here that's not going to be clear. We'll clarify it in just a minute in the Gemara. Echad anashim ve'echad nashim b'Yisrael v'lo b'acherim. Both men and women by Jews and not by others. Now, at first glance, it sounds like by Jews and not by non-Jews. It's not what it means, but we'll see in a second. So if you're telling me that the Shtei Alechem and Shnei Kiftzei Atzeres that you bring on Shavuos need to have tenufa, how do you do it? You do them separately, you do them together, says the Gemara, you do it together. Obviously, we're not dealing with these huge animals. Shtei Alechem, what do you do? No saying Shtei Alechem agabe Shnei Kvasim, miniach sheyadav lamata. You put the two matzah loaves on top of the... Sorry, these are not matzah loaves, these are challah. You take the two challahs and you put them, these are the only ones that are chametz. You put them on top of the Shnei Kiftzei Atzeres and you lift up the entire thing.
So some of those two lambs?
You literally lift up the entire thing. That's what it sounds like. So I'm not sure if you do it all. It sounds like, yeah. Umolech umevi male umorid. Like shaking a lulav. You go out, you go in, you go up, you go down. Shenemar asher hunaf asher huram. And Rashi points out, it says asher hunaf asher huram. And the pasuk before that says, V'henif hakwen alechem igrim tenufa. So the first pasuk, henif and tenufa, are two shakings. V'huram and hunaf are two other shakings. So it's a total of 4 shakes, 4 waves. Tenufa haisa b'mizrach. No, you take the lamb with the bread and you go out,
like a lulav.
In, up, down, like a lulav. Except it's...
You don't go right, left, and backwards.
You don't go right, left, and backwards, and you're not holding a lulav. Says the Gemara, tenufa haisa b'mizrach. The tenufa, this tenufa was to the right. Now Rashi points out, it doesn't mean it had to be to the right of the mizbeach. It could even be done to the right of the mizbeach, as opposed to what? And for sure the left side, even for sure the mara of the west, because the west is closer to the heichal. So for sure the west, even on the right side of the mizbeach, is still considered to be close enough to be able to do the tenufa, v'hagasha b'mara. But like we said, the hagasha is specifically done on the west side of the mizbeach, specifically the southwest corner of the mizbeach. When you have to do tenufa and hagasha for the certain menachos, which one comes first? Tenufos, kodmos lahagashos. Minchas ha'omer, minchas knos, tunos hagasha u'tenufa. The minchas omer and the mincha v'sota needs both hagasha and tenufa. Lechem apanim and minchas nesachim and tunos hagasha lo tenufa. The lechem apanim and the minchas nesachim don't need either. Rabbi Shimon omer the following: Gimel minin, teunin gimel mitzvos. The following 3 things need 3 mitzvos between them, but none of them needs all 3 mitzvos. Shtayim becholachas va'achash u'shlish ein behen. So there's 3 mitzvos total, and each one is going to need 2 of the 3. What's the 2 of the 3? Eluhain. Zivchei shalmei yachid, the korban of a yachid, which is a shlamim. The korban zivchei shalmei tzibor, a communal shlamim. V'asham mitzorah, and the asham of mitzorah that we were just talking about. Zivchei shalmei yachid, which 2 does it need? The yachid shlamim ti'unin smicha chayim. Now, when you do smicha, there's only one option. You do it when the animal's alive. You're not doing no smicha when the animal's dead. So there's smicha when the animal's alive. There's tenufa when the animal is alive. And there's tenufa waving when the animal is dead. So in each of them needs 2 of the 3. Zivchei shalmei yachid tunin smicha chayim, and they're all based on psukim. Rashi says utnufa shchutin. So you do the smicha, and then you do the tenufa when it's already dead. After you shachted it, you take the pieces. Ve'ein ben tenufa chayim. There's no tenufa chayim. Zivchei shalmei tzibor, which again is a shtei alechem, and the kiftzei atzeres, that needs tunin tenufa chayim. Like we just mentioned, ushchutin, you need to wave it when it's alive and when it's shachted. Ve'ein ben smicha, but this one doesn't have any smicha. V'asham mitzorah, ton smicha, needs smicha, tenufa chai, and it needs tenufa when it's alive. Ve'ein bo, tenufa shachav. It doesn't need tenufa when it's shachted. Zok the Gemara. V'hikriv oso le'asham, v'yeslog hashamen, ve'nif otam tenufa. You take the asham with the log hashamen, this is of the mitzorah, and you wave them. Milamid she'tu'unin tenufa ke'echad, because it sounds like you take the asham and the log hashemen, and you wave them together. So a little bit easier than the kiftzei atzeres. With the shtei alechem, you take the asham with the log shemen, and the mitzorah waves the whole thing together. Uminayin she'im hine v'zeh be'atzma v'zeh be'atzma. So how do you know that b'diavad, even though the chachili is supposed to wave them together? How do you know b'diavad if you wave them separately? You wave the asham separately, and you wave the log shemen separately. You'll be yotzei. Tamalomer v'ikriv oto le'asham ve'hinif, because it sounds like ve'hinif breaks up the asham and the log hashamen. And therefore, Lamaisa, even though it says Ve'nivatam afterwards, it sounds like it's 2 separate things. Yachol Yanif Yachsiv Yanif. If you can separate them, maybe it's not just that you can do either or. maybe you can do both together, or you could do one and one separate. Maybe you have to do both. Maybe you have to do both together, yanif, v'yachsir v'yanif, and then you have to shake them separately. Says the Gemara, no, tamalomar tinufa, it's only a singular v'lo tinufot. So again, you shake them together, l'chadchila. B'diavad, you shake one and then you shake the other, but either way, you don't have to do it twice. Says the Gemara.
The oil doesn't spill.
What?
The oil shouldn't spill.
Right, the oil's not going to be right. You have to make sure the oil doesn't spill.
Tricky.
Who said it can't have cover? Yeah. Hadron Allah Maseches Menachos. Zakta Gemara. Samech Aleph Amid Aleph Maish. 8 lines from the bottom.
You didn't get it.
No. Mendel gets it because Lifnei Hashem b'Mizrach. So we said that Lifnei Hashem by the Tenufa is b'Mizrach, even on the eastern side of the altar and for sure on the western side of the altar. V'Amar Lifnei Hashem Yachol b'Marav. But by Hagasha we said it needs to be on the west. So why when it says Lifnei Hashem by the Hagasha, by the touching it to the Mizbeach, does it mean Dafka b'Marav? On the western side, which again is the side closer to the Heichal, because, right, if you have the picture of the Heichal over here, so you have the Heichal here, and you have the Mizbeach here, so this is in the west. So the western side of the Mizbeach would be closer to the Heichal. This is the eastern side. The Heichal's here. Says the Gemara, why over there by Hagasha does it mean west, and over here it means east? Says the Gemara, Ramar Lifnei Hashem Yachol b'Marav, Amri Hani Mili Mincha, to Ikre Chatas. Because over there by the Hagasha it calls it a Chatas. It says Chatas he. And therefore what? If it's called a chatas, therefore it needs to be done like a chatas. V'chatas te'una yisod. So you're comparing that by the Hagasha, it's compared to a chatas. The chatas needs a yisod. Well, where's the yisod? There is no yisod on this corner. It says the Gemara, V'keren dromis mizrachis lo hayilo yisod. When it says Lifnei Hashem, it means you have to put it onto the yisod. By the Hagasha, you have to touch the corner. Well, which corner are you touching? Can you touch even the eastern corner? It says the Gemara, no, because there is no southeastern corner. There's no yisod on the southeastern part. Therefore, it must be that he's touching the southwestern part. That's why specifically Lifnei Hashem over there means southwestern, but it doesn't mean over here by the Tenufa that has to dafka be western. Here, where there is an eastern part of the Mizbeach, because you're not actually touching it to the Yesod, you're just bringing it and you're doing the Tenufa to the west of the Mizbeach. Therefore, you can do it to the east of the Mizbeach as well. Aval hacha Lifnei Hashem Karina Bey. Yes.
But the southeast is the one that was in the two Shvatim, right?
The southwest would be. Southeast is here.
Which is the one where it's the two Shvatim, so the BAYT Rabbi Zev would be also.
The Mizbeach was in both. No, was it Dafka the southeast? No, he's asking which one is in both Shvatim.
No, the Yehuda's. I mean, there's one of the corners.
Yeah, I don't remember. But the point is that again, this is the Heichal. And so it says Dafka that you have to do the other one, you have to do the Hagasha, it has to be done by the Yesod. Well, the Yesod is only here on the southwest. So that's why Lifnei Hashem by the Hagasha means southwest, but by the Tenufa, Lifnei Hashem, which doesn't need the Yesod, includes even the eastern part of the Mizbeach. Says the Gemara, V'abikurim k'divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. The Bikurim needs waving according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. My Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, D'Tanya. What does it say? This is in Parshas Ki Tavo. V'lakach HaKohen atenem biyedecha v'hinicha lifnei mizbach Hashem Elokecha v'anita v'amarta arami obei David. But the pasuk says that v'hinicha. Says Gemara limeid ala bikurim shetun in tenufa divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. He says that from v'lakach HaKohen, the Kohen takes the basket from your hands, shows that you need tenufa. Says the Gemara my taima. To Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, where do you see that the fact that the Kohen took it from your hands that he needs tenufa? Gamar yad mishlamim, because we learned from shlamim. Ksiva chavalakacha kohen atena miyadecha. Ksiv hasam by shlamim. What does it say? Yadav tiviena. What does the end of that pasuk say? Lahanifoso tenufa lifnei Hashem. So just like over there by the shlamim, when it says the word yad, it means tenufa. Over here, also where it says v'lakach atena miyadecha, it means he doesn't just take it from your hand, he takes it from your hand and does a tenufa. But the Gemara says we have to make another comparison between the two. Ma kan kohen af lahalan kohen. Uma lahalan balim af kan balim. Top of samach aleph on the base. So to over here it says what? That the other thing though that you have to learn is that over here we know there's a kohen and the balim. Because there's a kohen involved, you bring it to the kohen, and he takes it from your hands. So there's two people involved, there's a kohen and the balim. Says the Gemara, so by both of these there's a kohen and a balim involved. So we learn from shlamim that you need the tenufa, and seemingly you learn from over here that you need a kohen, and you learn from there, which the balim is doing, that you need a balim. So how do you do shaking with a kohen and a balim? Says the Gemara, okay, so what do you do? Kohen meniach yado tachas yidei balim umenif. So you're not just lifting up animals now. Well, now it's a little bit easier because you have 2 hands or 4 hands. But you end up, the Kohen puts his hands underneath the hands of the Baalim. So I go like this with my Bikurim. Kohen puts his hands underneath me, and we wave it and shake it together. Says the Gemara, why are you telling me that the waving by the Bikurim is dafka according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov? V'leima nami kediv Rabbi Yehuda. We see that Rabbi Yehuda also requires waving by the Bikurim. Detani, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, and when it says v'hinachto zo tenufa, at omer zo tenufa eno ela hanacha. Where do you see from the word v'hinachto? You put it down that it's tenufa. It says Gemara shihu omer because it says v'hinicho harei hanacha amor. Hamani mekayim v'hinachto zo tenufa. This is a tough lima, but it's basically saying that when it's telling you what he does, he puts it down. When he repeats what he was doing, he says that he puts it down. So the second time he said he puts it down, it can't be, he wouldn't just repeat that he put it down. We know the pasuk says he puts it down. Therefore, Lamaisa must be tenufa. I didn't understand because this is him talking now. He's telling you what he did. But at the end of the day, the Gemara says since it repeats it twice, once in telling you what he did, and once in telling you what he said he did, Lamaisa, since it repeats it, he did the tenufa. So the Gemara asks, why did you say in the Mishnah that the tenufa is done on the Bikurim, specifically according to Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov? They have different limudim, but they both agree that tenufa is done on Bikurim. Says the Gemara 2 answers. Amar Rabba Hoilu pasal ba'kas of tchila. Either it quotes Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov because he uses the beginning part of the pasuk. V'lakach hakohen hatana miyadecha v'hi nicho. It's not until later in the pasuk from v'hi nicho that Rabbi Yehuda learns it. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov learns it from v'lakach hakohen hatana miyadecha. And therefore, Lamaisa, you see what? You see that they both learned it, but he learned it from the first pasuk, from the beginning part of the pasuk, so he quotes him. But Einachanami, he could have quoted Rabbi Yehuda as well. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar, not as nice to Rabbi Yehuda, says Hoel v'Rav Gavrei. Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov was a bigger chacham. He was kav and naki, and therefore, Lamaisa, we're going to quote it in his name. Zok the Gemara. Ve'emore shal meyachid v'chazei v'shok shalhen echad ha'anashim. So we said that the emorim of a shalmei yachid and the breast and the thigh have a tenufa, have a waving. So I said when I read the Mishnah, what does this mean? Pashup Shah means echad anashim ve'echad nashim. If a woman brings a shalmei yachid, if a man brings a shalmei yachid, they have to do the tenufa. Be Yisrael, only a Yisrael v'alo b'acherim. Not a non-Jew. Says the Gemara, that's not what it means, even though it sounds like what it means. What does it mean? Maika Amar. Amar Yehuda, Hachi Kamar. Echad anashim, ve'echad nashim, korbanan ta'un tenufa. There's a difference if I tell you that you do the tenufa or that your korban needs a tenufa. That means it could be, the two things are not necessarily dependent on each other. It could be that your korban requires a tenufa, but you're not going to be the one to do it. I'll do it. So it says that both a man and a woman need to have their korban tenufad, waved. Utenufa atzma b'Yisrael avalo b'dei nashim. But what it's teaching me is that b'Yisrael avalo b'acherim, that so the first part is echad anashim ve'echad anashim, their korban needs a tenufa. B'Yisrael avalo b'acherim, I guess you can't say echad, I think that's the point. You can't say echad anashim ve'echad nashim and then say anashim ve'lo nashim. Like, what are you talking about? So he uses 2 different types of words, but they're both talking about men and women. Echad anashim ve'echad nashim, they're both of their korbanos need tenufa. However, only b'Yisrael, the man, ve'lo b'acherim, the woman, do the tenufa. That's the pshat. Yeah. Tani Rabbanan. B'nei Yisrael, we have a similar thing. B'nei Yisrael, manifin ve'en ovei kochav manifin. Here we add that acherim also doesn't just include women, it includes Ovdei Kochavim. B'nei Yisrael manifim ve'ein hanashim menifo. So now again, this Bryce is saying b'Yisrael, avalo b'acherim includes non-Jews. Amar b'Yosi, matzinu shechalak hakasa ben korban Yisrael lekorban Ovdei Kochavim ulekorban nashim b'smicha. So now the Gemara is going deeper into it. So at this point, we sound like the korban of nashim and the korban of anashim men need tenufa. The man does the tenufa, the woman does not do tenufa, we do it on behalf of her. And Ovdei Kochavim does not do tenufa, and we haven't yet spoken about the korban of the Ovdei Kochavim, whether it needs tenufa or not.
What about the korban sota?
The korban sota, we didn't discuss. Korban sota, the Torah said. The minchas knos to unos hagasha tenufa. That's a korban of a woman. It needs hagasha and it needs tenufa, but she herself seemingly will not do the tenufa. It sounds like the Kohen will do the tenufa for her. That's what it sounds like according to this. Or maybe the husband, but it sounds like she will not do the tnufa from this Gemara. Says the Gemara. Good question. Says the Gemara. Lekorban nashim bismicha. So now we see what? In terms of the korbanos, so you just told me that the korban of a man and a woman needs smicha. So now the Gemara is saying, well, we see, the korban of a man and a woman Jew need tenufa. Says the Gemara, Matzinu shechalak akasav ben korban Yisrael korban ovei kochavim lekorban nashim bismicha. Says the Gemara, but why does the korban of a nashim even need tenufa in the first place? Forget about the fact that she doesn't do it. Why does her korban need tenufa? We see that by the korban of a woman and the korban of a non-Jew, they don't have smicha. So why do they have tenufa? Yachol nachlok b'tenufa. Says the Gemara, lo. Mali chalak b'smicha sha'smicha b'balim. Nachlok b'tenufa sha'tnufa b'kohanim. The Gemara says something very interesting. The Gemara says that the smicha is dependent on the person who's doing the smicha. The Baal does smicha on the korban. So by definition, if the Baal does smicha on the korban, and I tell you that you, the Baal, cannot do smicha, then by definition, your korban doesn't need smicha. So by smicha, it tells you that a nashim and an ovei kochavim cannot do the smicha. If they can't do the smicha, it's given number one. And given number two is that whoever does the smicha, and given number two is that whoever's korban it is must do the smicha, then by definition there's no smicha on their korbanos. But over here, where the smicha, where the tenufa is not necessarily done by the Baal, therefore Lamaisa, their korbanos can require tenufa, and nevertheless we would have the Kohen do the tenufa for them. It sounds like over here that the Ovdei Kochavim's korban would have a tenufa. It's just that they wouldn't do it themselves. Says the Gemara, Imkein matam ulomar b'nei Yisrael. So again, it comes out by the smicha. A regular man who's a Jew, his korban needs smicha. If it requires smicha, it needs smicha, and he does a smicha. A woman and ovdei kochavim, their korbanos never have smicha because they can't do it. By a tenufa, the man who's a Jew will do the tenufa. Will have the Kohen do the tenufa or whatever. He'll do the tenufa. The woman who's a Jew or the ovdei kochavim, their korban need tenufa, but they themselves will not do the tenufa. Says the Gemara, Imkein matam ulomar b'nei Yisrael. So what's the chiddush of b'nei Yisrael? B'nei Yisrael manifin v'ena ovdei kochavim manifin. B'nei Yisrael manifin v'ena nashim manifo. So again, b'nei Yisrael is not telling you whose korban is having the tenufa done. It's telling you who's doing the tenufa. So b'nei Yisrael can do the tenufa, and the so B'nai Yisrael does the tenufa. The women and the ovdei kochavim don't do the tenufa, but their korban are tenufad. Tani idach. B'nai Yisrael ein li'ela b'nai Yisrael. Now we're adding one more category. Geirim v'avodim b'shuchrarim menayim. How do you know that Geirim and Avadim b'shuchrarim are included in B'nai Yisrael? Talmud lomar hamakriv. The makriv. Oinu elazeh hakohen hamakriv. Maybe it's only talking about the kohen who's the makriv and not the owner. Says the Gemara, kishehu omer yadav tiviena hare baal imamor. So the Baal brings it. So it sounds like the Gemara comes out that what? Sounds like that when it comes to Geirim v'avadim mishuchrarim, we have what? We have a separate limud of hamakriv, that their karbanos would get tenufa, and not only that, a ger and a evan mishuchrar would not only have their korban tenufad, they themselves would do the tenufa. So again, everybody's korban is getting tenufad, as opposed to smicha. If you can't do the smicha, you don't have your korban smichad, but everybody's korban is getting tenufad. Just a Yisrael and seemingly a ger and an evan mishuchrar can actually do the tenufa, but a nashim and avadim cannot do the tenufa themselves. Rabbi Chanani MENACHOS